Well, welcome to Rob's Fix-It Shop, old junk van edition. And you know, I don't usually make videos dealing with automotive stuff, even though I do a lot of fixing up old cars, just because it's in my blood. But I've got this 2008 Toyota Sienna. It's got over 200,000 miles on it. It's been a great vehicle for us, and we've had it for years and years and years. But it's got a problem with the knock sensor. And I looked at a lot of videos for replacing the knock sensor, and most of them were about like the car was already all apart, and then by the time it's all apart, people realize, man, this is a big job, or this is a very detailed job, and maybe I'll record what I went through to do it. So I thought I'd go through the whole process of how I figure out how to fix the knock sensor, get it replaced, and get the car all back together. And so if you're interested, hang on, and it should be kind of an interesting ride. Okay, so let's look at our trouble codes. Knock sensor 2, input high, and this is one that comes up all the time, right? So if I clear it, it'll be fine for a while, and then all of a sudden it'll come on. My suspicion is that the wiring going to it is bad, but I'm not sure about that. It might be the sensor itself. But either way, we got to get in there and see if we can find out what's going on. So I've got the plastic cover off right now, and the oxygen or the knock sensors are actually underneath the intake manifold down here, right? So we've got to take all this off. We've got to take the intake manifold off. And so to do all that, we need to take the air box. We'll move that out of the way, so then we can kind of move this out of the way. We're going to take this off just to make it easier to get into this area. That's going to make a big difference. The hardest part is going to be kind of getting that manifold off there, I think. And so yeah, so my game plan is take this off, pull this, move the air box, so then we'll be able to get this stuff over, and then, all right, so let's get these wipers off. First step in getting, so it's got a plastic thing here. Pull that off. Okay, now we have to get this out. I think there's just there's clips holding it in, but that wasn't held in very well. Alright, let's disconnect these wiring harnesses. So it's just got a little thing to push down here, and this one's not really connected. Oh, that must be the, if there's a light here. Let's get those off. So then, those are connectors that come to here. Okay, so I'm just going to take these little clips off. So just pinch them together there, I guess. Alright, so pull these out. Okay, and then there's one back here. Back here. And I think we got two here. We're going to have to get a bigger wrench on. Okay. Must be missing one. Yep, one right back here. No, it's still connected somewhere. Ah, I see it. Right back here. Right back. Right back there. Okay. We can get that. Okay, so now we got to get these connectors. You can see how these connectors. There we go. Okay, so I pinched it from the side and then went through. And I took this off. I don't know. Whatever, but just made it easier to get to the connector. All right, how are we now? What? It looks like we've got one more hiding kind of underneath this here. And so I'm just going to take this bolt out here and that'll let us get underneath. All right. Now okay, let's see if we can get that wiring harness out of there. What the heck is this? Okay, I don't know what that is. Okay, so let's get this. Yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of spray some of these connectors that I'll have to get off. I don't know if it'll help at all, but and the injectors down here, I won't be able to get to the other side yet. You know, I don't know how much it helps, but sometimes figuring out how the clips come off is one of the harder things to do. Okay, so I want to be able to get this stuff kind of moved over, and there are some things that might make that kind of hard, like this here. That shouldn't be too bad. So I don't know, we're just going to have to kind of experiment and see what we have to take off. So I think what I'll do is I'll loosen this up first. And like I say, I've had really good luck. I really like this van. It's nothing fancy, but it's really good. For the most part, really problem free. I've had a couple of problems with coils, but you know, I mean, it's got over 200,000 on it. Okay, so let's see. Let's pull these little connectors off here. Be very careful. I'm going to break any of those. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think I'm just going to disconnect this. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then let's holding this in. We got this. That. And then that comes completely out. Well, that's pretty sweet. Okay. That's good news. And I'm going to pull that because I think we'll have to anyway at some point. Alright, I'm going to pull these two as long as we're in here. Well, let's just leave those. We'll see once we disconnect this, and I think the hard part of this job is there's 3 bolts that hold us in from the back, and we have to get those out. So, and nobody really shows how to do that, but they all talk about what a horrible process it is. So let me see if I can feel. Okay, so there's one right here. It feels like about a 10 millimeter. I'm going to try to get in there with a 1/4-inch socket. I think that's it. Got my fingers crossed. I'm gonna spray these take manifold things to let that soak while we're doing this other stuff. Okay, now, okay, that was the easy one. So, how do I figure out how to get in there for the other ones? Let's see if we can find it. I think this is it. I would bring the camera over here, but it's not much to look at. You can kind of see it. I don't even know if that's the right one though. We'll see. Okay. And one, should be one more. Huh, I don't feel anything. Let me try taking these out and then we'll see what's holding on back there. See if we can see where it's kind of catching up. H4 and H4. Oof, that was in there. Okay. Okay, all the bolts are out. Why? Okay, I've had it. Well, I think I've got my wrench on it, but I don't know. I think I might need a swivel head to kind of get it, but we'll try with this one. All right, there it is. Yeah, it took me a while. Okay, so you want to get this out? Yeah, let's just take the hoses off that, and we'll be done with it. There. Seriously? Okay. Woof, the Sven. All right. Okay, so there we see our two brackets here, and then here is the other one over here. Yep, this one here, that's the bitch. Here, I think I took off the wrong one, right? I think you're supposed to take off this one. But, be that as it may. Alright, so, looks like we got to pull those fuel injector rails. And we got to pull that. So let's pull the rails first. It looks like they've just got these bolts here holding them. Okay. Okay, let's pull the bolts out of there. so we got all the bolts out. See what it takes to get this out. It comes right out. Yeah, quite a few bolts on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh wait. No, some of these are fuel injector holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 bolts. There's our one sensor, and our other one is right there. Right, and it doesn't look like the wires are frayed or they've been chewed through. That looks pretty good. And so I'm just going to take those out and put in some new ones. Okay, I got a new wiring harness and new knock sensors, and so I think we're ready to put it back together. Let's take a quick look down here. So it looks like the gray wiring harness is on the front side, the black one is on the rear side, and then for getting this harness off, looks like we have to go let's see, where is that? Oh, right down here. So if we look down here, that's where you have to get that harness off. So if we look at the harness, we've got these kind of things that plug in and kind of hold it in place. And then we've got the gray connector, which is the one a little bit closer, the black connector. So I'm just gonna try to get those things out. I'll work first on the connector, see if I can get that out, because if I can't get that off, then I might as well leave it, because I don't think there's anything wrong with the, I mean, the wiring harness looks good, but this was very inexpensive, so and the old one's kind of hard and brittle. So anyways, let's take a look at that. We got our cable in. It was not easy. I had to kind of break off the old things that held them to the posts and kind of get in the new ones. Very putsy work, but it does look like it's in there. So now I'm gonna put in the new knock sensors, connect them up, and then start reassembling. Okay, well, it's time to put the intake manifold back on, and some of the little seals here came out with the injectors, so we'll put a little grease on those to help those slip back in. And then got a new gasket there right here, because that one that's on there is really messed up. So yeah, forward. Alright, that's on there. Now you just got to get the 4,000 bolts to hold it in. Okay, so I believe these are torqued to 15 foot-pounds. Hey, miss any? Ah. All right. Okay. Okay, so I got the fuel rails on, and I think I'm going to stop videoing from here on in because I think it's just the reverse of how we took it apart from here on in. So, okay, so I'm here. It's another day, new day, and got the engine running. It runs great, but a couple of things. One is just make sure this hose that comes right here, make sure before you put all this together that you've got this in the right place. I had to pull this off again and put that back in the right place. I had it kind of back further. Make sure that's in the right place. And the other thing is that when I went to stop, so I don't have the this guy in yet, and so I wanted to make sure it ran before I put it all together, because if I had to open it up, I didn't want to take that out again, right? So, but I would start it and it would run for about 5 seconds and then it would just stop, right? And I could start it and rev it, same thing, it would just run and stop. So this thing here is for the fuel pump, I think, but it is connected to that piece here, to that piece back here. And if this is not plugged in, and it's kind of in this wiring harness that goes to the wipers. If that's not plugged in, that I think that's the fuel pump automatic shut off. Not sure. Anyway, but that the engine is, as soon as I got that plugged in, then it all ran fine. So just kind of a word to the wise. And I had to look it up on the internet because I was frustrated because, you know, of course, then I take it all off to see if I missed something, but it was very regular. Start, shut off. And it would start just fine. So anyway, it's just kind of a word to the wise there. Anyway, so I'm going to get that back on, and then I'm going to be done with this stupid project. Well, that's it for Rob's Fix-It Shop Crappy Old Car Edition. Hope you enjoyed it. It was kind of fun, kind of watching how this works. If you're doing it yourself, I hope I gave you some useful tips. And thanks for watching, and please hit like and subscribe. Thanks.